Ah, let us visit the Duchess. I need to talk to you. What is it? That priestess Celine. She's a lumen. I can sense it. I know. What do you mean you know? If you knew that, why didn't you tell me? You didn't need to know. Your job is managing the domain. Some of us have other duties. Our missions have been passed down for centuries, little princess. Where'd you get a crystal? All the lumens in the domain were supposed to have been wiped out 200 years ago. Except for your ancestor. We're here to train you. You don't need to know any more than that. Really now? Alright, fine. Let's get our meditation and lore to 100, shall we? Discover that if you put yourself into the right frame of mind, your entire body begins to glow faintly. You discover that if you can put yourself into the right frame of mind, you really can see with your eyes closed. You discover that if you put yourself in the right frame of mind, you can sense things happening in nearby rooms, even behind closed doors. Well, that could come in handy. It is now believed that strong magical power attracts danger. Therefore, after the Doom Shadow was banished, the crystals of the fallen dukes and duchesses were destroyed. Only the crown and the Duchy of Ursul maintain active lumens. Alright, so where's this third person come from? This is the week of the general tournament. Nobles and commoners alike have turned out to compete against each other. The people will be pleased if you participate in their games. However, it would expose you to danger. I'm a frickin' mage. I ain't scared. Let's see. Mounted parade, jousting, fencing, archery, music, falconry. The mounted parade seems fairly safe. Let's do that. You choose to lead the parade, mounted on a brilliant white horse. However, the effect of your appearance is spoiled somewhat by the way that you're clinging to the horse's neck. Perhaps it might have been wise to take some riding lessons first. All the winners are announced and displayed to great cheers. As near Queen, you place flower garlands around their necks. All of a sudden, a man approaches the winner's platform. It's Kevin, the Earl of Isle. In one hand, he carries an armored gauntlet, in the other, a sword. My family's blood is on your hands. Dude, seriously, you're going to try to assassinate a mage? Eris, the ringleader of the rebellion, she was his mother. He casts the metal glove to the ground with a clatter and raises his sword, pointing it at you. I challenge you, Elodie! A life for a life. He's challenging you to a duel? Doesn't he know you could burn him to a crisp just by waving your hand? Well, let's kill him with magic! Without a further word, you direct the full force of your magical wrath at the Earl of Io. There's a horrible scream and a smell of burning flesh. I decline. Kevin's sword falls to the ground beside his gauntlet. He won't be needing either anymore. After the tournament, a minor tragedy is revealed. One of the stewards apparently had an incredible sweet tooth and dared to steal a piece of your recently received chocolates. He had a sweet tooth. The chocolates were poisoned. I knew they were poisoned! Good thing I didn't eat them. It was obvious they were poisoned. Alright, let's talk to this woman again, see what she has to say. There's something I don't understand. What is it? Magical powers are connected to lumen crystals, right? That is correct. But I can make myself glow by concentrating the right way, and it doesn't feel like it uses the crystal at all. Let me see. You concentrate, your skin begins to glimmer. You're right, it's not proper magic. It's something else. Is that bad? She holds your hands above your shoulders, moving slowly down along your arms. I sense no danger. Ignore it. It's a distraction. I don't think she knows what she's talking about. Keep pushing. There are a million magical secrets I don't know, but I'm trying to learn. This one affects me personally. I need to know what's causing it. Very well. If I had to guess, I suspect it has something to do with your mother's powers. She was already a lumen when she bore you. Some small trickle of that energy may have passed into you. So the daughter of an active lumen might have strange powers. It is hardly a power, it's a quirk. It's not worth wasting time on. Sure it is. Alright, we have maximized this. What should we go for next here? What should we go for next? We should probably work on our conversation a little bit. Let's work on that, shall we? Conversation. Do some public speaking, some court manners. Practice tongue-twisting sequences of syllables to improve your enunciation. Review the correct greetings for guests according to rank, and when to extend your hand to another. All nobles expect their due honors. My lady, your father wishes to speak with you. He says it's urgent. I'll be there in a minute. There's someone I have to talk to first. You wait for the maid to leave, then hurry off to rendezvous with your agent. Greetings, your highness. I trust you are well. I'm fine so far. I've just returned from the Duchy of Kigal. We've made a number of discreet inquiries and infiltrated much of the Duke's private correspondence. The Duke of Kigal is certainly not your greatest supporter. However, he seems entirely preoccupied with restoring the stability of the duchy. We find no evidence that his family was involved in the attempt on your life. Well, I suppose that's a relief, but that means we still don't know who did it. Aren't you supposed to detect these things before they happen? A political coup requires allies, signals, coordination. Assassins work alone. They leave far fewer traces. Fine. Get back to work then. I have other things to do. I need to speak with my father. Find your father standing over a map of the coastline, his face grave. Ships have been sighted on approach from Zzandrio. Not trade ships. This is a war fleet. What? Within a week they will be in Novan waters. Within 2 they could reach the capital. We will fight to defend ourselves. You can try to use the treasury funds to hire additional soldiers, but it may be difficult on short notice. Don't worry about it, I'm a frickin' mage. It's too late for that. You will need to draw up a naval strategy for our ships to carry out. You could choose to act as admiral and lead the fleet in person, but the danger to you would be very great. Unless you think your personal skills will make the difference, I would strongly advise against it. I'm a frickin' mage, dude. Come on now. I will direct the fleet. The risk is mine to take. You have your mother's heart. There's one more thing I hesitate to ask, but an invasion. This is the sort of disaster for which a lumen's power may be worth the cost. If the fleet could be destroyed before they reached our waters, many lives would be saved. I don't know any magic that could sink a whole fleet. I'll have to talk to my mentor. Find the Duchess of Ursul in her guest quarters. A fleet from Zzandrio is attacking us. Is it possible to sink them all with magic? It is easy enough to attack one soldier, one ship, as a demonstration, but to obliterate an entire fleet? You would need an immense amount of power spread over a large area, more than any one lumen could control. Well, what about if you and the other women give me your power, because I learned that could happen. If you tried to raise that much power yourself, you would die. Not could, would. So it's hopeless? Not necessarily. The most dangerous power of Imperial Nova was that of lumens acting in concert. If the need is great and the will is true, one lumen may choose to give command of her power to another. 3, perhaps 4 people working together might have the strength to destroy a fleet. You, me, and Celine, will that be enough? It might. Are you willing to take the risk? Such power has its price. Absolutely! This is what I was born for. I say we do it. You attend services in the Castle Grove, letting the peace of the ritual calm your heart. Alright. It's still extremely lonely. Oh, pressured is not lonely as pressured. Okay, well that's interesting. Well, my magical powers are pretty much good. I don't think I need to worry too much about losing to any kind of magical fight right now. But I was working on conversation, public speaking, flattery. Yeah, I'm wanting to up this conversation thing so I can actually talk with people. Let's continue taking those classes. We want to do public speaking and manners. We take deep breaths and practice speaking loudly and clearly, projecting your voice to every corner of a room. As the person of highest rank within the domain, no one may sit at any formal event unless you give them permission, and no one must ever turn their back on you. If they do, you are intended to recognize the insult. Okay. Ooh, danger on the high seas! You and your two fellow lumens join hands to focus your powers. Magical training has paid off by allowing you to stage this attempt at a safe distance from the invading vessels of war. Far in the distance, you hear the roar of the ocean you have charmed as it buckles beneath the incoming ships, opening up a maw of void into which they tumble helplessly. Then, as they fall, the water rushes back in around them, washing over decks and pummeling hulls. Even from so far away, you can see the disturbance you have made rippling through the water. Some of the Zzandrians may survive, but their threat as an invasion has ended. Okay, well, that went well, didn't it? That went well. Alright, what do we got that will up pressured? That will up our pressured. Court? Well, alright, let's go to court. How's our mood? We're a little less lonely. A little bit less lonely. A little bit less willful, too. I'm not sure I like that. But maybe I need to be less willful for my conversation. Things to work right. Alright, let's do some flattery and some manners. How about that? Manners and flattery. You study rules for formal dining, including the proper utensils for different dishes. As the queen, no one will comment on your mistakes, but they will notice them. You study the traditions of ballroom etiquette, how to politely accept or defer an offer, and how to avoid the impression of attachment to an individual. You learn that it is always better to compliment people for their personality and their choices than their physical attributes. Okay. The magical storms you summoned created giant waves, which swept inland as well as out. Uh-oh. Damage has been reported along the shoreline from Mazomba down to northern Mari. The beaches are covered with wrack and the bodies of animals, and many fishers and cockleders are missing. The hell's a cockler? Are you blaming me? Well, of course. It's my frickin' fault, but I stopped a frickin' invading army. Come on now, it's worth it. Of course not. Many more lives would have been lost if the fleet had landed. What worries me is that these reports are increasing, even long after the events of the battle. More than that, an observatory in Caloris has seen strange shapes in the sea to the west. Uh-oh, have I awakened sea monsters? Something worse than a simple storm may have been unleashed. Does that mean a sea monster? Ooh. Alright, let's attend court some more. How's my mood doing? Alright, yeah. Alright. Oh yeah, we got good bonuses. Public speaking and flattery. We will do public speaking and flattery this week. You memorize lists and sonnets, then recite them for your teacher and any castle staff she can round up to serve as an audience. Your teacher asks you questions about made-up nonsense, pushing you to improvise answers smoothly and swiftly without having to worry about them being correct. Okay, you just make crap up. I've unlocked a new outfit. Visual elements are best to flatter on first meeting. They are expected to be noticed right away. If you've spent more time with someone, suddenly complimenting their attire will ring false. Small personal details help make the recipient of your flattery feel that you have truly noticed them, which is always better than a simple, "How nice you look." In the Grand Hall, your father is waiting for you. "Our fears have been realized. A kraken has risen." A kraken? An enormous tentacled sea monster which can dive and surf as it will. It is fast, voracious, and apparently unkillable. Any ship that ventures into its range is at risk. This could destroy Nova's shipping. What can we do? Do we just wait and hope it goes away? No. Alright, this is the other woman that gave me her magical energy to sink the ships. Quite unexpectedly, the priestess strides into the room. "What are you doing here?" "I came to bring the records of the circle, so that you would know what you face. Left alone, the beast will feed until the seas run red, and only then will it sleep. It would cost hundreds of thousands of lives." Exclamation point! There are only 2 ways to end its threat. Lumen spellweaving can freeze a kraken in its tracks, holding it motionless, but only for a short time. If the spell is renewed every moon, giving the beast no time between castings to move freely, it should eventually sleep. How long would that take? Approximately 7 years. Years? But if at any point the spell cast is too weak, or is not renewed in time, it would break loose. Treasure would be drained keeping up such a routine. What is the other way? It is well known that eldritch beasts can be driven out by sacrifice. The life force of a lumen, or potential lumen on the cusp of adulthood, would be the ideal choice. What? No, you will not take my daughter. You see, Elodie, this is why I told you to reject them. They are all witches. Even without her mother's crystal, she would still have been a potential lumen. Keeping her ignorant would not have kept her safe. I will not allow this. The choice belongs to the queen. Me? No, not sacrificing herself. Come on now, try to seal it. We'll have to do our best to seal the kraken away, no matter how long it takes. After all, isn't that what our magic is for? To defend the world from darkness? I will teach you the necessary spells. You must arrange the transportation. Very well. Alright. Alright. I need to be lonely for my speaking skills to work. Let's be lonely and cheerful. That'll make my speaking skills good. Alright. We need public speaking, court manners. You read collections of famous historical speeches and practice saying them in convincingly dramatic fashion. You borrow the menu from an upcoming banquet and practice delivering it as a dramatic speech to an audience of confused chambermaids. You memorize the correct title for every servant in the castle. Treating servants with respect ensures good service. To directly challenge someone's honor is to declare war. Never make a public accusation of cowardice, treason, infidelity, or murder unless you are prepared to face mortal enemies. And on that note, you study the etiquette of dueling. Well, my etiquette of dueling is roast him with flame, pretty much. That's what I did. Time has slipped by you so quickly. Only 2 weeks remain before your birthday celebration and your official coronation as queen. Have you done enough to build a stable Nova? Sure, I've squashed a couple wars. The first of your soon-to-be regular voyages has now set out with Celine on board. She appears to have some special affinity with seawater, which makes her the best choice to guide a vessel while it hunts for the elusive beast. After all, you have to find it before you can enchant it. Alright. Let's walk in the garden some more. I should probably leave my, yes, I should definitely leave my magical stuff on if I'm going to be doing magical stuff against krakens. See, our conversation skills are moving right along here. We want court manners and flattery here. As a monarch, you are expected to embody the virtues of honesty, bravery, and generosity. You should always offer aid to those in need. However, Those you aid personally are expected to give you their utmost loyalty, even unto death. You study the forms of written address, how to issue and decline invitations, how to announce an impending visit, and how to correspond with the rules of foreign domains. You study the language of flowers and the secret meanings that can be communicated through the gift of a bouquet. What? Oh, come on now. It's girly stuff. Most people want to believe that they are successful and well-liked, more than they want to believe that they are handsome. Play to these beliefs, and they will be inclined to enjoy your company, even if they should know better. A certain class of dramatic personality believes utterly that they are ugly and unpopular, even if this is untrue. Flattering their appearance will make them pull away and mistrust you. Instead, compliment their intelligence. This tends to be their weakness. Most people want to believe that they are special and will react well to hints that they are receiving slightly better treatment than others. However, too obvious favoritism will stir resentment, and only the vain enjoy it. The castle is buzzing with preparations for your upcoming coronation. Ministers press you with details for your favorite colors and flowers and so on. You really can't see the point of wasting time worrying about decorations when there's so much else to worry about. Yeah, there's a frickin' kraken in the ocean. Others are more interested in the subject of your marriage. Come on, I'm not even 15. Jesus. Whomever you decide to marry will be elevated to the highest ranks of the nobility, which could mean a major shift in the balance of power. Therefore, everyone is talking about the top candidates, even though you're under no obligation to marry so young. Talarus, the Duke of Sedna, is one option. Certainly he expressed interest in marrying you earlier. Your union would bring stronger ties to the domain of Talas and improve the situation along the Elath border. However, your earlier rejection of him would seem to make that less likely. Then there's Banyan, the Duke of Marie, a powerful and eligible noble, only about 10 years older than you. There's Kiran, the new Duke of Lila. He's close enough to your age that you remember meeting him at school, where he was already becoming quite handsome. Lila is a powerful territory, and he has family ties to much of Nova. It would be a good match. Except, of course, that you are responsible for the death of his mother. There's little Adair, the eventual Duke of Elath, although at 12 he's only a child. Well, come on now! Apparently I'm only 14, little girl, so what the hell difference? At least he's almost old enough to understand the concept of romance. Some people think you ought to marry Gwenelle's half-brother Ansiet, who hasn't even turned 9 yet. There are 2 or 3 minor earls around the age of 20 who might be passable alternatives, and of course you could decide to ignore noble traditions entirely and marry a commoner, if you were prepared to deal with the uproar. While you will need to marry eventually, you're still very young. You could put this decision off until later. However, a clear succession contributes to the stability of your domain. Are you leaning towards any option? Well now, no. You are in no hurry to get married. You have a country to run. Damn silliness. Damn silliness. Let's sneak out. Have a little bit of fun. Alright, we're still working on our conversation stuff. Public speaking and flattery. You learn about debate techniques and practice them by trying to convince a castle gardener why a new fountain would be a good idea. Your teacher assigns you to create and memorize a short speech of your own. Your teacher assigns you to read about a subject, memorize a few good phrases for the beginning and ending of a speech, and then make up the rest on the spot. And our flattery is maxed. The most reliable form of flattery is to convey that you honestly like the target, enjoy spending time with them, and wish them to think well of you. Imitation is a form of flattery. Mirroring someone's gestures and reactions can lead them to subconsciously trust you and feel that you have a bond. Be careful not to make this seem like mimicry, which is insulting. This time last year, you were celebrating your 14th birthday. You were in the school gardens, surrounded by your friends. The teacher brought you tea and cakes. while a wealthy merchant's son wove a crown of flowers for your head. It didn't matter so much that you were a princess then. Your title was something for the future. Many of your peers would be duchesses or earls or the like someday, but not then. You were children. Your parents could not attend on the actual day, but they did send wonderful gifts, some for you and some for you to share. And a week later they came for a visit, and your mother took you with her through the countryside in a splendid carriage. It was the last time you would ever see her. You wonder if, wherever she is, she can see you now. You are 15 years old, a legal adult. You have worked and studied and suffered and prepared, and now the time has come. You kneel before the priestess, barely hearing her words as she recites the blessings. She calls upon the gods to deliver peace, wisdom, and prosperity to you, and through you to all of Nova. And then she calls upon you for your oath of rulership. Will you guide and govern and protect your people to the best of your ability, according to law and custom? I will. Will you, to the best of your power, uphold the ideals of love, honor, justice, and mercy? I will. Lords and ladies assembled, I present to you your undoubted queen, who has sworn you her loyalty. You who have come to give homage, will you do the same? One at a time, the head of each duchy approaches your throne and kneels to swear his or her service to you and your heirs. People of Nova, I give you Elodie, daughter of Fidelia, your true sovereign. What say you all? Long live the Queen! Thank you, I will. Once his daughter was secure on her throne, Jocelyn returned to his birthplace to focus on his duties as Duke of Caloris. He was pursued by many women, but showed little interest in remarrying, directing them instead to his brother, the Duke of Mazomba. The Queen and her trusted lumen sailed out every week to check on the condition of the kraken and reinforce the seals. It was inevitable that others would discover their secret and blame them for it. After all, the old Novan capital had been rendered uninhabitable by monstrous lumen experiments. The tentacled beast from the deep was just more of the same. The Novan people were not the only ones who noticed the increased naval traffic and the frequent absences of the young Lumen Queen. Pirates from Orcus stepped up their raids on the area, hoping to take Elodie hostage and ransom her for a fortune. The Queen was forced to engage an even larger naval escort to make her regular trips to the binding site, and the Novan economy struggled under the burden. Elodie appeared disinclined to marry, instead enjoying herself with a stable of favorites, then discarding them as soon as they bored her. Since one of those affairs did produce the all-important crown prince, the rest of Nova had no complaint. After all, she was the queen. She could do whatever and whoever she wanted. And thus, Queen Elodie's legacy stretched into the future. Well, that's interesting. There seems to be a lot of choices you can go through, and there seems to be quite a bit of replayability in this little game. I think I kind of like it. Anyways, that was an interesting story. I played as a frickin' a mage, and won several wars with my magical powers until I inadvertently summoned a kraken. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.